it is a weird transformation happening, and I don't know. Like, people keep talking about the woke mind virus, like it has to be some sort of MAGA mind virus that's going on. And only the real ones like myself are immune to this virus. Like I don't know, it's weird. And I have a feeling once Trump gets into office, depending on when you're watching this, it's only going to get worse from here. And we're gonna really see who has the 10 toes to stand on business, to actually stand on policies that we know, statistically speaking, to stand on policies that's going to actually help American people. So John Fetterman, okay, John Fetterman kissed the ass of another man. Yes, he did. And this right here is a trend, okay? Like I'm 37. I guess I'm an old man, okay? I would have my questions of trends that these young folks do. Like, okay, that's every old man out there, okay? But I'm sure we can all agree that kissing the ass of Trump is a trend that we should never normalize. Like, this is becoming a everyday situation, and at this point it's like it's going to be who didn't kiss the ass of Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might have to make a shirt that says I didn't kiss the ass 2025. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ridiculous. And trust me, I understand the nuance of like changing your position when it comes to the light of new information or new data or new studies. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should never be married to every single opinion or idea that you have, like climate change. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Neil deGrasse Tyson or other scientific individuals had new data of whatever the case is, climate change is not such a big deal or something like that, I would take that data, take that scientific study, and then compare that to my opinion. And if it changes my mind, it changes my mind. H-1B visas. You know what I'm saying? I am for H-1B visas, but let's have a conversations to reform it so it's not exploiting its workers or it's being used in the way that it should be. Let's change each other's opinions. But it starts to get a little suspect. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are going to start questioning your moves and your motives and your ambitions when you start to like change everything with no explanations. Like you have no explanations on why you went from A to Z. Nothing at all. And that's exactly what Fetterman is doing. Let's take a look.
Oh man, those ads were erotic. Welcome back. Dry yourselves off. We were talking about Jonathan Fetterman and his seemingly odd apparent turn from progressive working class hero to weird centrist pro-genocide dude who whines about liberal meat. So where and when did this disconnect happen? Let's entertain the first theory that Fetterman was always more centrist than we hoped, and we all simply turned a blind eye to it during his campaign. Mm-hmm. After all, he was running against Dr. Oz, who was a lot like the Wizard of Oz if he killed over 300 puppies, which maybe the wizard did that too. We don't know where he got his powers, but with Fetterman, there were some early warning signs that he was a tad bit inconsistent with his messaging.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Fetterman, I do have a specific question which you can continue on this topic, but you have made two conflicting statements regarding fracking. In a 2018 interview, you said, quote, "I don't support fracking at all. I never have." But earlier this month, you told an interviewer, quote, "I support fracking. I support the energy independence that we should have here in the United States." So, Mr. Fetterman.
So now, at a moment like that, you would expect, hey, what information, like what is the plan from, I guess, if I had to come up with an excuse like, okay, I was a little naive. I didn't have all the information from never fracking to now I see the importance of fracking, but I have a plan to kind of slowly roll us out of that into X, Y, and Z. Like something, at least something, some BS excuse for us to conversate. And even if I disagree with you, at least it's a better excuse than this.
Please explain your changing position. 60 seconds.
I've always supported fracking, and I always believe that independence with our energy is critical, and we can't be held, ransom to somebody like Russia.
Hold on. Give him a moment to explain.
You're saying tonight that you support fracking, that you've always supported fracking, but there is that 2018 interview that you said, quote, I don't support fracking at all. So how do you square the two?
I do support fracking, and I support fracking, and I stand, and I do support fracking.
Oh.
Like, guys, hey, okay, I'm not too big on like criticizing people's speaking skills. Like, I know I might say a few things kind of just weird, and I'm trying. I'm a regular dude, okay? But guys, what the hell are we doing here? Is this really the best we have to offer power to dictate hundreds of thousands of people? I mean, damn, I know if I was to run, I would have my flaws, I would have my uphill battles, but damn, guys, what's going on? Are progressives really that desperate of someone to represent progressive values that we can't do a little better than that?
Oh, okay. Thanks. Look, to be fair and balanced and empathetic, Fetterman was still recovering from a stroke, and he would have a pacemaker procedure on election day. So one can understand if his mindset wasn't 100% on his campaign. And as he said in between those clips, he hasn't taken money from the fracking industry, which appears to be true. But even with that,
which we need to keep an eye out on that. I'm just saying, not trying to accuse without the proof in the pudding, but sometimes it takes a little while for the pudding to get created, mixed up, and then served. But hey, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but let's keep an eye out on that.
That stroke, he kind of flip-flopped. And you might even find it a bit uncouth that we're even bringing up the stroke. But he himself has said that the stroke specifically changed him and made him move away from progressives only a few months after saying that he never changed and progressives are mistaken to ever think he was one of them. I mean,
hey, guys, what are we doing? But then that brings us all to recently. This was like maybe, 4 months ago, okay? Now this brings us to a few days ago, where Fetterman had a sit down with Big Daddy Trump, okay? And I'm just curious, like the ring that Trump pulls out. So when these individuals come to kiss the ring, one, how big is the ring, okay? And can you still see the lip prints of everyone else? Elon Musk, you had Morning Joe, then you had Amazon, Jeff Bezos, then you had Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, and the list continues. Can you still see the lip prints on that ring? I'm just kind of curious. But let's go ahead.
I love it. And I think, look, President Biden, when he ran and he came in, he said, I'm going to bring people together. It didn't really happen. Trump is saying, look, I'm going to bring people together. Here it is. Fetterman, he's a high profile, big time Democrat, went to bat big time for Biden in the campaign. And they sat down, they got along. I think it's great. I don't think he should be mocked. I think both of them. I think Trump and, I don't know why they gave Morning Joe such a hard time that he went down there to go talk to him. Hey, you're the new president of the United States. I'm supposed to cover you. You're the president. Let me meet with you and let's hear what you have to say.
Well, the reason.
Now, hey, if that was I don't want to say any, because the Republican has a long list some really hateful, bigoted, racist people. So I don't want to say anyone. But if this was your normal Republican conservative individual, okay, Romney, hey, I guess, maybe, sure, why not, whatever, then I could understand like news outlets or Democrats or progressives, independents, anyone saying, you know what, I may not agree with his policies. He might be getting paid from X, Y, and Z. Okay, let's just try to make the best of this. Let's just try to come together so I can get my constituents what they need, what they want, and just try to make something out of a bad situation. But it's hard to do, which you're going to get into, when you claim someone's a fascist, when you claim someone's a bigot and a racist and a literal threat, not just out of imagination. Like they have acted in such a way to where you think they're a threat to democracy and American people. You don't come to middle ground with people like that. No, in my opinion. Tell me if you think otherwise in the comments, but in my opinion, you have to draw a line somewhere. No, it don't work like that. You don't work with the bully. And he's actively bullying people in school. You don't be like, you know what, like, I mean, I just gotta like work with the bully. Like, no, don't think so. I'm sorry, not gonna work for me.
And they gave Morning Joe a hard time is because they had spent months and months calling Trump Hitler and fascist.
But so did Fetterman.
And so,
no. Trump, however,
Fetterman was a little
actually,
different.
okay, let's play the Fetterman, roll the tape.
We gotta roll the
Let's go
tape.
back.
All right.
He's a sore loser, and he got smoked in 2020, and he lied, and Fox News had to pay $800 million in court because Fox carried that kinds of lies. We're talking about all these other issues when we can't talk about the way Trump has slipped. And now he is saying increasingly more incoherent things and bizarre things. It's the same sad story that he had in 20. And I'd like to remind everybody that Biden wrecked his shit by 80,000 votes.
That's short of calling him Hitler. I just want to point out.
Well
That's short of calling him Hitler.
Not a single thing there,
My mind,
not a
things
single
changed.
thing he said was incorrect factually. But Trump, on the other hand, had called Fetterman like a drug addict, and writ large. So look, it's good to see people reaching out across partisan lines. To Fetterman, to reach out, go there, that's fine. And maybe the appealing to the flattery to Donald Trump, he's very susceptible to flattery. If that can help us unite as a nation to find some common ground to get some big things done, that's fine. But it would have been nice to have Republican senators reaching out to Joe Biden, and that's what we didn't see.
That is a good point. I mean, why does this never happen the other way around?
Well, hold on.
Why?
I mean, I thought one of the big Biden pitches was he passed a bunch of bipartisan
He
bills.
did.
He did.
Yeah,
but
so how can you say?
No. Time out. Hold on. Wait a minute. I got an answer for you. One, Republicans literally shamed Republicans for even creating some of these bills that Biden was able to get passed with bipartisanship. MAGA literally called them rhinos and literally shamed them out the party. Look at Mitch McConnell. Look at what's her name? Cheney. Yes, Cheney agreed with President Trump on like what? I forget the exact number. It was like 97% of all the policies except for when it came to what happened on January 6th. Now all of a sudden they kick her out the party. Oh, you're not a Republican, blah, blah, blah. What happened? You see what I'm saying? So it's not like people who are going to see Trump, they're just trying to, it is a different perspective when it comes to people trying to work or Republicans trying to work with Biden to get legislation passed compared to people just going to see Trump because they are afraid of Trump. That's the difference. Nobody was afraid that Biden was going to go after him politically, or people like Mark Zuckerberg afraid of Biden and having some sort of repercussions when it comes to Facebook and their business. No, these are two totally different perspectives and two totally different reasons. I mean, look at what happened to the border bill. Once again, bipartisan, people from the left and the right came together to try to come up with something for the border bill. Hey, Trump called and said, hey, don't think so. And if you go along with it, you're going to face the wrath of MAGA. And then see what happened. I don't see Biden calling. I mean, I guess they did call to go against Bernie, which is a whole nother conversation. But you get my point.
Never wanted
Republicans
to
didn't
be,
help Joe Biden when they voted for some of his stuff.
Because lest we forget, 4 years ago and a week, the Capitol had been attacked. And we did see a lot of big bipartisan things get done because Trump worked with the Senate and members on both sides of the aisle to get big things done, like infrastructure, like the CHIPS Act.
Biden.
Biden, I apologize.
I think Fetterman, I don't know why he's going down there, and I think he was elected by a very strong progressive base in his state, and since his election, really after the midterms, he has become more and more centrist, and that was not the way the people who elected him in Pennsylvania expected him to govern, and particularly go down to Mar-a-Lago. I do think, though, what he is doing, I don't agree with it, but I think what he is doing is he is seeing his state. He is seeing that there are pieces of his state that he also represents that run the gamut in the political ideology, and
that's what he said.
And he wants to be reelected.
That's what he
It's
said.
not just pieces of his state. I mean, look at Pennsylvania. Between 2016, 2020, and 2024, there's been a huge shift over toward Republicans. Voter registration. Republicans are now a net 205,000 more Republicans registered in the state than there were back in 2019. The state is changing. He knows that. He is not a dumb person.
Can I just say one more thing to the point is that I think...
Hey, once again, I may not be the best candidate to be a politician because, I don't know, I got these things called like standards and morals, but if I'm running or if I represent Colorado, and Colorado's a blue state, and for whatever reason, you know, in the future, it was to kind of slightly turn a little purple or on its way to turning a nice, decent red, I don't know if I can convince myself to be like, you know what, my state is turning a little bit more red. I need to shift some of my positions or my policies or my talking points to kind of represent that. That's not going to work for me, especially the policies or what Republicans represent now. Like if they have some solid positions, you know, like even immigration. Like immigration is not just a Republican concern. Like, no, that's not how that works. But if they want me to like say, you know, we have open borders and we need to send every immigrant from this country out of this country, regardless if they're illegal or not, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to even hint of what the rhetoric is coming from the Republican Party. No, if you want to talk facts and numbers and data, then yeah. But you're not going to get even close to what the Republican Party represents. So this whole, like, you know, that she tried to bring up, that's not an excuse. You ran on progressive values and now you're switching up. That is a problem. But let's go ahead. Hey, I got some facts for you. John Fetterman is a prominent American politician, a member of the Democratic Party, currently serving as a junior U.S. Senator from Pennsylvania since January 2023. Before his Senate role, he served as Lieutenant Governor of Pennsylvania from 2019 to 2023 as the mayor of Braddock, Pennsylvania from 2006 to 2019. Known for his progressive politics, he championed causes such as criminal justice reform, healthcare access, and economics for struggling communities. Once again, it is a weird transformation happening, And I don't know. Like, people keep talking about the woke mind virus. Like, it has to be some sort of MAGA mind virus that's going on. And only the real ones like myself are immune to this virus. Like I don't know. It's weird. And I have a feeling once Trump gets into office, depending on when you're watching this, it's only going to get worse from here. And we're going to really see who has the 10 toes to stand on business, to actually stand on policies that we know, statistically speaking, to stand on policies that's going to actually help American people. That's what I want to see. At the end of this 4 years, who's going to be standing on policies? Who's going to be standing on standards? I don't know. It's like a scary movie. Who's going to survive this scary movie at the end of it? But once again, guys, if you agree or disagree with anything I said in this video, let me know in the comments down below, or hit that Discord button so me and you can have that one-on-one talk. And like always, let's have that conversation.